top season, so that means those arms will be on full display. Here to help us get those biceps buff is Vila from South Tampa CrossFit. So welcome back.
I didn't get the memo.
I know.
Did.
Where's your
Apparently,
tank top?
wow, you just went all in.
Where's your tank top? I wore this on purpose.
I appreciate that.
You know, what do they say? Sun's out, guns out.
Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah,
all right,
okay.
so it's summertime.
Summertime.
It's if we haven't started yet, it may be not too late for at least our arms. We can get our arms pretty jacked pretty quickly.
So
that's what we're gonna go for. So we have an array of objects.
Okay.
Is there one that fancies you most to use today?
Well, I mean, I'm used to like the weights, but I want to talk about the bands first because we were talking about how, you know, a lot of us are going on vacation, and so you can just throw those in the suitcase, right?
Easy. So truthfully, right? I know multiple people. If you're like, all right, I'm traveling, this goes, it weighs nothing. So let's start with this.
Okay.
So one thing that we can do, right, is obviously when we can step on it, all right? So step 2 feet, boom, right? Hold it, we'll do a pistol grip, right? And we're gonna do a couple curls, right? So I'm gonna talk a little bit through this.
Okay.
So this is easy, this is for a hammer, or a hammer curl, I should say. But one thing you can do when, especially you're in a pinch, you're like, oh, I only have 5 minutes. Let's say we've done, you can go a little faster. Let's say you got, let's say you got to 15 reps.
Okay.
All right, at 15, I want you to hold it out like this.
Oh.
All right, so you just stay there.
Okay.
So something that we can add when we're doing biceps specifically, or arms in general, is when you do a rep, let's say I'm getting 15, 20, whatever your number is, do a 30-second hold at the end. And you're gonna see they're a little pop there, a little isometric hold, right? So that's a version or something you can add on to the end of your reps, right? So now the next thing I want you to do is go ahead and relax.
Okay, and you can also make it heavier by just stepping.
Yes,
or,
slash.
You know, right.
What if you had two bands?
Two of these bands. Oh, goodness.
Again, it sounds obvious, but sometimes people are like, I have multiple bands.
I shouldn't have brought it up to you.
Right.
Okay, all right. So now you can step on both of them. Oh.
So we're focusing right now on our biceps, but you know, our arms are long, right? Our shoulders are part of it. So I want you to hold it like this.
Okay.
All right.
This is gonna be hard.
This will be. You already saw it coming. Right. Let's do some front raises.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go. Yeah, there you go. So.
Wait. Let me put my feet closer.
Well, something we're doing now is we're supersetting, right? So let's say we did 3 sets. Let's say you did 15 curls.
Okay.
You get a little closer, and then you go into your front raises, and you do 15 of those.
Okay, this
and you
is
go
great.
back and forth, right? Because sometimes, if you especially want your arms to pop a little bit more, you don't want to keep doing the same movement for it. Like, okay, I've done the curl, now I do this, now I do this. It's kind of nice to use other parts of your body and then go back to
and the front raise gets this muscle there, right?
And then I'll show you something. Well, let me show you this now.
You want to do?
Yeah, we'll use a plate.
Oh my gosh.
We'll use a plate. 15 pounds. You hold that.
Okay.
All right. Because pop quiz. Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right.
All right.
We have our biceps. We have our triceps.
Oh gosh. Is this a medical term?
Which muscle do you think actually is bigger?
Well, I would say bicep, but that's a trick question.
It is a trick question because bis 2, tris 3.
Oh,
so triceps actually make 2/3 of our arm.
I failed biology.
It's all right, but everyone thinks about our biceps. It's all right, you're on a roll. Everyone thinks of our biceps, but it's really our triceps that kind of make the little thicker part.
Right.
So what I want you to do is go ahead. Let's hold it overhead.
Okay.
There we go. All right, bend your elbows this way. Yep, and then go ahead and come back.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep doing that, right? So now this is working, right? Our triceps specifically, and she's gonna do about 10 reps of that, and then you'll hold it at the top.
Okay, hold on.
All right, so I just share that though, if people do think of our biceps a lot, don't forget about your triceps, okay?
Yes, and triceps are important,
I mean, super important, right? And then you can put that down, and then we'll end with this. So go ahead and you can pick up those dumbbells.
All right. 12s, just want everyone to know.
Yep, got 12 pounds. And I'll show this just so you can see a banded version as well.
Okay.
All right. Because here's another question. When you're scrolling on your phone, we all have phones, right?
We've all realized I'm not good with questions.
Well, how many pounds do you think you're holding or when you're scrolling all day?
Oh gosh, I don't know. 5?
No, none. It's not. You need to do more than scroll. So that's why we have the weights, right? So I just share that of like where everyone's on their phone, we're always scrolling. Don't be scared to pick up a weight.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do now is literally you're just gonna go across your body, right? So we're here. You're gonna curl.
Okay.
Yeah, and you're gonna alternate. So you go the other way, right? And we're gonna do 20 reps,
I
and
like
then
these. Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. So it'll be 10 on each side, right? And it's the same thing of. I'm now going across my body. Earlier, we kind of went straight forward.
Right.
And it honestly is just...
So you do have to mix it up a little.
Yes,
If you want to get those toned arms.
And another reason is even though we just said our biceps and triceps, they are kind of big, they're
Yeah.
not our legs, right?
Right.
So you don't want to, it's very easy to overdo it in the same motion over and over because they still
Right.
are small muscles.
Yeah, okay.
So variety of, let me turn it this way, let me turn it
Variety.
out. Palms up, it
Yeah.
kind of, well, I would say helps a lot.
Right. Okay. Well, thank you so much. This was so helpful. Okay, so if people want to come out and, train with you, what's a good website? How can we find you?
South Tampa CrossFit.com, Path Personal Fitness. I will say this real quickly.
Yeah.
If you're like, okay, I want to get into strength training, and
Yeah.
let's say I'm a female, and CJ, you're cool, but you're just not my cup of tea, right? Well, one thing we do have coming up is called Barbell Betties.
Okay.
And it's strength training for women.
Amazing.
Coached by women. It's
That's an
more
amazing program. I was looking at it online, so go check it out.
Yes,
Really
yes,
fun.
please.
Okay. Thank you, CJ.